Okay, we will be covering what was in your assignment. Okay. Basically, but today's focus is going to be on synthesis and transformation, right? I think synthesis and transformation is something that is relatively easy to score. Okay, there are certain types of questions. And if you can tackle certain types of questions and you know how to, answer them correctly, it's basically there is a format to different question types. So if you know the format, like this kind of or this type of questions, we are supposed to, change certain verb form, or we are supposed to like shift around certain words, then you should be able to do well for your synthesis. And also furthermore, synthesis and transformation is actually a total of 10 marks, 2 marks each. Okay. So 2 marks each means that um we have to make sure that we get uh you know all okay. They hardly award you 1 mark. Usually it's either 2 or 0. Sometimes they might give you 1 mark. Okay, but the tricky part is that if let's say you have a minor error, even if it's like full stop, you forgot to put a full stop, or you forgot to put a comma, you will still minus 1 mark. So it's very tricky in a sense that if you make a little mistake, they will minus off 1 mark. Okay, so you need to be sure that you are as accurate as possible for your synthesis and transformation to get the full marks. Okay, the full 2 marks, yeah? Okay, now, same thing. I think there are no new students, so I will not go through house rules. I think all of you are familiar with this. Okay, I'm just going to move on. Okay. Now, who would like to go first? What Mr. Lim reached the mall, he called his wife. Yes, Ivan.
Is it before?
Yeah, that's right. Okay, before Mr. Lim reached the mall, he called his wife. Okay, before. Now, next one. I can't think clearly what I'm hungry. Jera.
I can't think clearly when I'm hungry.
Very good. Okay, so all these are actually conjunctions, and some of them, basically most of them are conjunctions, whereby they join sentence. I wouldn't say sentences, but they join clauses together. So these are called clauses. Yeah. She finds trekking fun. What tiring, Phanisha?
She finds trekking fun but tiring.
Good. Okay, because in this case, these two, one of them have positive connotation, one of them have negative connotation. So the best conjunction to use would be, okay. Okay, now next one. David has been working for this company. What he graduated 3 years ago. Anyone? Who has not answered yet? Let me see. Elena.
Me?
While he graduated, okay, now while means it's ongoing. So graduation means that you have already, you know, finished your course of study and graduated. Okay, so in this case, it's not while. Anybody else would like to try? Grace.
Since.
Yes. Okay, since he graduated, that means from the day he has graduated all the way until later. I mean, 3 years later, right? He still is in this company working. He has been working for this company, right? So since. Okay, now next one. Rajendran is the best head prefect. Our school, whatever what. Yes, Vanisha.
Rajendran is the best head prefect for our school has ever had.
Has ever had. Yes. Okay. Has ever had because all along in the past, they've not had a good or a really excellent prefect. But he has been, right? He has ever had. So B. Very good. Okay, there we have our answers. We're going to move on to vocabulary. I think today's lesson might be quite fast. So in between, maybe I'll give you a break and we can have a short game. Okay? Yeah, vocabulary MCQ. My father's company stores all its goods in a big what? In Jurong. Okay, any volunteers for this? Tanisha?
My father's company stores all its goods in a big warehouse in Jurong.
That's right. Okay. Let me see. Let me write it down here. Okay. Now, warehouse is basically a place whereby you store goods, when it comes to like, you have your own company. Now, what's a pound? Actually, pound can be a verb, pound can be a noun. Of course, in this case, we are talking about pound as a noun as in like a place or an object, right? So in this case, actually, pound can mean two things in terms of nouns. Let's not talk about verb. Verb means action when you're pounding. Okay, when you're pounding on something, basically it means that you crush and grind something, right? Pounding. Okay, but when we talk about pound as a noun, it can be a place where stray animals, okay, where stray animals are officially taken and kept. Okay, until they are claimed by their owners. So it's like a temporary shelter for dogs. Okay, temporary shelter for animals that might not be dogs, until their owners come and claim them. Okay. Now another example of pound, actually in certain countries, I mean in Singapore we don't call it pound. In certain countries whereby they confine people, they keep people like in a jail or a prison. Okay, so a pound can also be a place of confinement. For example, a trap or prison. Okay. Now, what's the meaning of key? Anybody? Like a boat key. A boat key is basically like a metal or even a stone platform that are for ships to dock. Okay, a key. Next one, dormitory. Okay, anybody knows what dormitory means? Usually dormitories are a large bedroom basically. It's not just one bedder or two bedders, right? It usually has several beds within the large bedroom because it's to serve people like maybe students, right? Students live in dormitory, but in Singapore, we actually call it a hall of residence, like you stay in hall. Yeah. in other countries, they might call it dormitories, but I think what we call as dormitories in the Singapore's context would be the workers' dormitory. Okay, so dormitory is actually a large bedroom for a number of people in a school or institution. Okay, right? So living in the dormitory. In Singapore's context, we usually use dormitory as a term whereby, we allow the workers to live in, like especially the the workers who work in the construction sites. Okay. Warehouse, of course, is basically like I've explained, and I think most of you have gotten it, is to it's a large building where raw materials are manufactured, goods may be stored. Right. Okay. So it's a large building where raw materials or manufactured goods may be stored. That's in a warehouse. Okay. Any questions with regards to this? Oh, okay. Yeah, not to worry. I think the annotated version will be uploaded on your student account, so you can refer to that. Okay, if you don't want to write down, it's okay. Yeah. Okay, next one. His room is very what furnished. All these words have ly. So basically, it suggests that all these words are adverbs because an adverb tell us a little bit more about a verb. So it is the verb. So it is what, right? So it tells us more about the verb. Okay, so is what furnished? There is only a bed and a small study table in it. Yes, Hao Xuan.
Is it D?
It's very hardly furnished, not really. Good try though, good try. I think hardly means it's like not very, but because there is a very really, then hardly actually means not very, right? It's just hardly. Then it becomes like, double opposites. It's very and not very, you see. Okay, who is next? Phoenicia. Oh, Phoenicia says A. Okay. Now, sparsely, okay, sparsely, maybe I can use an example. The vegetation is really sparse. Okay, the vegetation is really sparse. So somebody had a plantation and then he planted some vegetables on it. Okay, if it is very sparse, it means that it is in short supply. There aren't that many. Okay, and it can also mean that it's very thinly dispersed or scattered. That means very little over a large area. So you can see that everything is so little, so sparse, as we use that to describe we use that to describe vegetation most of the time. Sometimes people might use it to describe hair. Like his hair is very sparse, which means that he doesn't have a lot of hair on his scalp. So you can see like there are, he's probably balding lah, basically, right? So sparse. Okay. So is it suitable for it to be sparse then? Yeah. Because if you think about it, the room is, there's a particular area there, and then the furnitures are just one bed and small study. So actually you can use the word sparse. Okay, it's very sparsely furnished. It's not really like properly thought after, like you are supposed to have this, that, in different places, right? So sparse